Caloroga Shark Media.
A Swedish musician has spent 6 months teaching an octopus how to play piano. Hi, I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories. Matthias told the Washington Post that he bought Taco, the octopus, from a Portuguese fishery. He says it took time to earn Taco's trust, and longer still, until he could convince the octopus into using the keyboard he designed with levers for the octopus to pull with his tentacles. He said Taco started a plateau, only playing 1 or 2 notes at a time, but a breakthrough came when Matthias installed a crab elevator in the tank. The device would lower a crab, which, as you know, is Taco's favorite treat, a small amount in a tube for every note the octopus played. Matthias started accompanying Taco on the guitar. Matthias says it was probably the worst thing I've ever done and maybe the coolest thing, but also the worst ever. I can't believe I sit here and play with an octopus. Marine scientist Jenny said the octopus is not perceiving rhythm. It's not perceiving tempo. It wants to do the steps it has to do to get the crab. Bittersweet one here. Claire was diagnosed in 2022 facing terminal bowel cancer. She had posted on Facebook asking anyone writing Christmas cards this year to pop one in the mail for her as well. Hundreds of cards arrived, many containing gifts such as movie tickets, chocolates, vouchers for a camping holiday. Her post was shared more than 10,000 times, with comments shifting from friends and family to people she'd never met, many beginning with phrases like, "Even though I don't know you." One of the offerings came from the Cambrian Flying Club. They offered her a free 30-minute flight. Scientists are getting it done. They say harvesting fog could bring drinking water to some of the driest cities in the world. Research in Chile have figured out that they can capture fog water. What they do is find meshes suspended between sets of poles, allowing clouds to flow through and droplets to form. The water can then be stored in the tanks. They're working on this with one particular desert city. Those citizens currently have to rely on water delivered by truck. In California, wildlife officials accidentally captured the wrong bear. They were trying to capture the bear that's been living under a man's home. Ken discovered in November that a bear was living under his house. He called the California Department of Fish and Wildlife for some help. Those guys said, yeah, bears often look for secured, sheltered places, especially during the winter. So the wildlife biologist placed a metal trap on the property. They baited it with caramel and cherry scents. That would have worked on me, by the way. And the officials were like, hey, we caught the bear. Okay, everybody's good there. However, they realized, oh, this is a different bear that happened to walk by and was like, hey, caramel and cherry, I'm in. Meanwhile, the original bear still underneath the house. The captured bear was removed to a more appropriate habitat. The bear still under the house has been identified as Yellow 2120, and so far Yellow 2120 has avoided removal. Ken, who lives in the house, said he's tried to encourage Yellow 2120 to move by playing loud noises, including recordings of barking dogs, but the bear's like, I'm good. If you like the program, if it makes your day a little better and you want to support it, what you can do is go to Apple Podcast. And there you see a little banner. It says Uninterrupted Listening. You click that, and then for 30 days, you'll get the show without commercial interruption. And then if you like that, what you can do is you stay subscribed. And then for $5 a month, you'll get the show without commercial interruption. And you'll get a bunch of other shows on the network as well. It says channel on the apps there, so you'll see Daily Comedy News, which I host, and Palace Intrigue about the Royals, and a bunch of others. And all that is part of the same $5 if you want to try that out. Much appreciated. Good news if you've been waiting to take out the book Harry the Dirty Dog. It was checked out on November 6th, 1989 by diplomats living in Washington, D.C. The diplomat's son, Dimitris, has returned it. He explained, the diplomats are now retired in Greece, and I found this book on their shelves. It's traveled the world and was well taken care of, as you can see, and now can find its way home. It is now back in the Fairfax County Library system. They posted on social, thank you to Dimitris' parents for taking such good care of our book, and to Dimitris for helping the book find its way back to our shelves. I kind of want to, take it out and not return it, but I'm a rascal. And those are your 5 good news stories for the day. Like, my son can return it in 50 years, and then somebody else hosting this podcast can tell that story. All right, you have an awesome day.